This is a tale about letting go. Letting go is something that we all need to do every now and then. Sometimes it's quite easy. Sometimes it seems like the hardest thing ever. Sometimes it hurts a lot. Sometimes it feels more relieving than anything else. Sometimes we realize that we should have let go much earlier. Sometimes we let go in just the right moment. But no matter what, in the end we all need to let go of things in our lives every now and then. My story starts many years ago, in the summer of 2005. Back then, I was only 7 years old. I didn't know much about life yet. Still, what happened to me back then is still a part of my life today. On some days, there's nothing that hurts more than realizing I should have let go a long time ago. Yet I haven't been able to do so yet. Letting go is something I'm really struggling with. It's always been hard for me and it doesn't seem to get easier. If you somehow relate to this, the following words are for you. It was back in the summer of 2005 that I met the truest companion of my life. The one that's there when everything is dark, when no one else stays by your side, who makes you want to embrace all your negativity, but in the end also the reason that prevents you from achieving what you're thriving for. Like a toxic relationship, you can't let go, because somehow your heart is connected and you can't seem to find a way to move on. No matter how hard you try, you just can't move on and let go, because somehow you found comfort in this intense pain. Because back then, in the summer of 2005, the sun on my inside set, and suddenly there was no sunshine anymore, not even one ray of light. Inside of me was nothing left, nothing but darkness. I remember that back then my biggest wish was to never feel that way again. To feel this way one summer long, but never again, like the cliche of a summer affair. Feeling great while holding each other's hand and walking through the world, but not until you're gray and old, no, just one summer long. Because your love isn't that strong. Because what you share is nothing more than just another summer affair. So you can just let it go when the summertime is over and get back to your regular life as if nothing's ever happened. But then, a few years later, I'd find myself talking to a therapist because nothing got better so far. No, it would actually get worse. And I'd be scared of the darkness that was living inside of me, that was causing more and more pain with every passing day, yet I wouldn't find a way to let it go. The years were passing, and I'd start to feel hope. I'd start to see light again, even though it was still dark around me. And eventually I'd get to a point that made me feel like I've overcome the worst, but the fight was not over yet. Even though it started many years ago, and I felt like I'd be done with it so many times before, it always comes back to me. And even today, 13 years later, it's still impossible for me to let it go. It's still impossible for me to move on and leave it behind, because I know how much it hurts to be left behind. I wish there was a way to turn back time, so I could go back to the summer of 2005 and break up with my depression long before she'd get attached to me. Because today I might still be here, yet my biggest wish is to find a way to break free, to leave my past behind and finally move on from anything that has happened since I first met her. I wish there was a way to tell my depression that there's no future for me and her, and that it would have been better if it didn't go any further than having not more than just a summer affair. But no matter how hard I try, no matter how often I seek the conversation, my depression seems to be too attached for me to have any chance to let it go. Like a toxic relationship, you can't let go of, because somehow your heart is connected and holds on to all that you shared and all that might come. What happened in the summer of 2005 was not only more than another summer affair. It was the start of the hardest time of my life. And no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, I just can't let it go. By now I know that I would be better off without her, yet she seems to feel differently about me. She seems to see so much more in me than just another summer affair. A while ago, my therapist told me that I've come such a long way already. And then she asked me why I'm so scared of letting go. And even though I couldn't say it in that very moment, the truth is that it's not so much that I am scared. The ugly truth is that I have no idea who I would be without her. Because all the time we shared since the summer of 2005 somehow feels more familiar than anything else has ever felt. And I'm not even sure if it's possible that anything will ever replace it. Still, I'm fighting for myself, to find a way to finally let her go, and to prove myself that the relationship with my depression might have been more than a summer affair, but eventually I will find a way to let her go. Like all the toxic relationships I've overcome, even though our hearts were connected somehow. I am sure that in the end, I will let her go. Because my depression and I may have shared more than just a summer affair. But for me and her, there's no forever. There is no forever when something's not meant to last. And the day will come that the relationship between me and my depression is nothing more than just a part of my past.